This one I think is really important in that it affects every single human being on the planet, and having it can mean the world, and not having it can mean that you end up living a very limited, unhappy life. So I'm talking about self-confidence, okay? And by the way, in June, our campaign is Mirror, Mirror on the Wall, who is the greatest of us all? And the first week of June, we talked about vanity versus self-care. And this week, T and I are going to talk about self-confidence versus flexing. And flexing, for those of you who don't know what that means, it's a slang or urban term for showing off, okay? And so I may get some interruptions here and there because I'm out with my family, but hopefully it'll be smooth, okay? So basically, what is self-confidence? The easiest way I can explain it is self-trust, okay? It's the ability to trust yourself, your skills, your strengths, and your choices, and your capacity to recover from so-called failures. The ability to trust your capacity for growth and change. So, that's a beautiful thing when you have self-confidence, based on what I said here. Because if you trust yourself, right, and if you have the confidence in your choices and in your abilities, well, you're naturally going to take more risks in life. You're naturally going to go for things in life, even though you might be afraid or anxious and unsure of yourself, even though you might have some self-doubt. Your self-confidence, your trust in yourself can override those things, and you can still move forward with pursuing your goals despite all the insecurities, right? So I have a favorite saying, and it's that courage is not about not having fear. It's about having fear and doing it anyway. So in the same token, that's how I view confidence. It's not about not having anxiety or self-doubt. It's having all of that and moving forward anyway, because you have an inherent trust in your ability to learn and grow and bounce back, and you have a desire to fulfill your life goals. So that desire is what constantly runs your life, okay? Meaning it's the one that dominates. Even though the fear is there, the confidence and the self-trust, like as we say in therapy, is the one driving the bus, okay? And all the other parts, the insecure, scared parts, are passengers. But the driver's seat is your wise, confident, trusting self, okay? So why is it important? Why is it important to have confidence? You might be wondering about that. Typically, confident people tend to be happier, right? Because when you think about it, if they're taking more risks, and if they're pursuing more of their life goals, if they're getting better at what they do because they keep trying and improving, it's a more fulfilling life, right? When you really think about it. So the other benefit is they tend to have more success because they end up really being good at what they do, because there's a certain mastery that can happen when you are honing and cultivating a craft, right? And which in turn makes you even more confident. There's also an inner knowing of your inherent worth as a person. So you're not so riddled by insecurity, and that doesn't mean you're confident 24/7, 365 days a year, but again, it's that you know inherently that you're okay, that you're good enough, that you deserve a seat on the table. So you go for it anyway. And confident people tend to also be promoted into leadership positions. They tend to be movers and shakers and innovators, visionaries. So when you think about it, it really can change the entire trajectory of your life when you have self-confidence. A great example, hi there, C, thanks for watching. A great example is, there's so many, but Kobe Bryant, for example, or Elon Musk, right? I mean, so many people talked him out of his goal, thought he was overly ambitious, but he was that motivated and persistent. And it took a level of trust, right, in his vision, and the trust that he will be okay even if he doesn't achieve the goal or accomplish the goal. And that wasn't a factor for him. It was more the pursuit of the goal, right? And so he did it anyway. And he invested in himself and his business. And look at him now. I mean, he's literally changing our world, our planet. That's how powerful self-confidence can be, okay? Self-confident people also tend to have a relationship edge because people just tend to naturally be drawn to confidence. It's attractive. Confident people are decisive. So, problem solvers. So again, that's another relationship advantage. And truly healthy, confident people also have good self-esteem. And so when you have good self-esteem, that has a direct impact on the kinds of relationships you're going to cultivate and maintain in your life. So it's just a gift that keeps on giving. And that's why T and I wanted to dedicate some time talking about this. The 3 C's that I thought of to help you guys really understand self-confidence is clarity, calmness, and courage. Clarity, calmness, and courage. And that's an original Cecile theory. So let's start with clarity. Clarity is a sense of clarity, clear-headedness about your goal, about your worth, about your skill set, about the things that you need to do or acquire or learn in order to, fulfill the goal. So there's kind of an objectivity around your own self-assessment and assessment of the goal you're trying to pursue. Calmness is exactly that. There's a certain peace and a sense of knowing that I'm okay. I'm going to be okay no matter what happens with this pursuit, because I'm not doing it to prove that I'm worthy. I'm doing it because I'm passionate about this particular thing or this particular project, right? Again, thinking about the most talented, successful people that you know of off the top of your head, people who show up every day for their craft, right? And put in the time, blood, sweat, and tears to get good at something. That's another hallmark of confidence. So clarity, calmness, and then lastly is courage. And courage, like I said, is not about not having fear. It's about having fear and self-doubt and recognizing that, but not believing the lies, and going for it anyway. Okay? That's what courage is. So that's a great way to gauge your self-confidence level, Where's my objectivity or clarity? How calm am I in the pursuit of these goals? Basically, am I organizing my energy around this goal because somehow it's connected to my sense of worth, right? And so when you're in pursuit of something with that kind of energy, it's stressful. That could be really stressful and unpleasant. So there's a calmness about it, right? And there's a certain level of courage and bravery because you believe in what you're fighting for. You believe in what you're trying to manifest or create, okay? You have this passion about it, so that trumps all the insecurities you may have. It's not about, you're just confident every day. It just doesn't run the show. So confidence is not an all or nothing deal, meaning it's not like some people have no confidence and other people have all the confidence, right? Like we're all, think of a continuum or a spectrum. We're all in different places, okay? And some of us have more than others. And it really largely depends on the kinds of life experiences you've had. Okay, so in psychology, clinically, here's where the clinical piece comes with this. The way we were loved or not loved directly impacts our level of self-confidence or self-esteem. Okay, because they kind of go hand in hand. So we cannot underestimate the things that happen to us in childhood or our earlier life, because that has a direct impact on how we see ourselves and how we move in the world. Self-confidence determines what we say yes to and what we say no to. That's how critical it is, okay? The good news is there are many things. Hi, Dominique. Thank you for watching. The good news is there are many things that we can do to cultivate healthy self-confidence, okay? And I keep emphasizing the word healthy because there is a type of confidence that I'm going to talk about called flexing that looks like confidence, but really it's not what you think it is, okay? So the good news is we can heal. There are things we can do to slowly but surely boost our confidence in a healthy and meaningful way. And we have so many options and resources now in our day and age. There's really no good reason to not be able to embark on some kind of self-healing and self-improvement journey, you know? So we are very, very lucky as a generation living in the time that we are. So if you need help with that, my suggestion is think about going to therapy. If you live in California, please contact us, transcendtherapyca.com, transcendtherapyca.com, and we can help analyze, assess what's really going on, what the nature of your lack of self-confidence or, you know, self-esteem issues are, and cater or tailor a treatment approach, basically a treatment plan that will really help you meet your goals. You can also hire a coach like Mr. T. Smith. There's retreats, there's all sorts of things, but I'm always an advocate for therapy, not just because I'm biased, and coaching, because usually, like I said, a lot of these confidence issues are rooted in injuries, you know, injuries to our sense of worth and our self-esteem, and they don't just go away. So you need somebody skilled in your corner to really help bring out the confidence in you, the beauty in you, okay? And to share it with the world. So, what is flexing? Here we go. Flexing, flexing, flexing. Again, it's a slang term. Hi, everybody, for watching. Thank you. It's a slang term for basically arrogance. You know, you're just showing off. That is not self-confidence. It may look like self-confidence on the outside, but usually flexing is motivated by insecurity, excuse me, by wanting to make some kind of power move, you know, by wanting to inflate yourself. Excuse me. It's so dry where I'm at, and there's a lot of pollen. By wanting to inflate yourself, excuse me. Rob? I was on a ladder. I had to get up. Because these allergies, sorry. All right, I'm so sorry, guys. I'm back. Technical difficulties. This is what's this is what's challenging when it's live. Thank you so much. So flexing, like I said, is people showing off, being arrogant, and it's usually motivated by, you know, trying to make a power move, trying to show off, trying to inflate yourself and your achievements, and again, rooted in things that happened most likely in childhood, right? Because that insecurity doesn't just come out of nowhere. That need for that kind of validation doesn't just come out of nowhere. That comes from things that have happened in one's life that have made them feel insecure and inadequate. And this is the only way they've learned how to meet their needs, right? And it's not a judgment, we're not shaming, it's more, as always with Get Mental, it's always about education and awareness and elevating everybody and letting you guys know that there are real solutions out there for these things, that you don't have to suffer and you don't have to function in this way. And there are people ready to help you and support you, and we are one of them. Okay? So the main difference between flexing and self-confidence is flexing usually comes from a deep need for attention, for admiration, for approval, and praise. Okay? It usually comes from a deep need for attention, admiration, approval, and praise. The difference is self-confidence. True self-confidence usually does not need any of that. It's more quiet, it's more humble, it doesn't necessarily require a lot of noise or attention. And because there's an inner knowing that I'm okay, so I don't necessarily need all of that. Like, is it nice to have? Sure, but I don't need it to feel okay. And that's a process, guys. That's a process for most people, because most people have had some kind of dysfunctional or negative modeling of what it means to have, a good sense of self, okay? And self-confidence is also driven, right, in contrast with flexing, which is driven by, trying to make a power move. Self-confidence is more driven by a desire, really, to fulfill your life goals. It's a desire to master a skill or a pursuit that you're really passionate about. So it really has less to do with social approval and what other people think. It's self-confidence is really more about you doing it for you, because you have a calling, you have a sense of, desire and passion for that thing you're pursuing. So, again, what comes to mind is Kobe Bryant and Elon Musk, or say Beyonce, or whoever your role models are, Oprah Winfrey, athletes, Olympic athletes, or just look at like people in your circle, your mom maybe. It doesn't have to be popular people, right? But the quality is usually very universal when people are truly and healthily self-confident. And so I hope that this inspires you guys to self-reflect and to seek out help and support if you feel that, this is one aspect of your life that you would like to improve, and maybe maybe you're ready to look at some of your past wounds that may have contributed to your current confidence patterns. We're here to help. Again, if you live in California, T and I can help you. Visit transcendtherapyca.com, and soon we're going to be launching a website with specific resources as well, a Get Mental website, and some resources and courses, hopefully, and merchandise. So I'm really, really excited about that. But for now, that's it. Thank you for listening. If you have any questions or suggestions for future topics, please, you guys know how to reach us, and we are more than happy to look into it and give you guys some high quality information on the subject. And thank you again for being patient because of the little allergy attack I had there. But, take care of yourselves, be well, be gentle, get mental, because we all have issues. Bye for now.